Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. We want to update the public today on some of the things we are doing to prepare for Al-Quds event that will take place this Sunday, March 23rd. Like any large-scale demonstration or event, the public will notice an increased police presence in and around the demonstration area. I want to inform Torontonians that roadway disruptions and restrictions should be anticipated in the downtown core on Sunday. As always, our top priority is to make sure everyone is safe. Our Major Incident Command Center will be operational, and we will be monitoring events very closely. We are working closely with our municipal, provincial, and federal partners, as well as our intelligence services, to monitor potential threats and respond to any situation that may arise. It is also our role to engage with event organizers with whom we are always clear on what lawful demonstrations include and do not include. During protests and demonstrations, our police liaison team is deployed to engage with organizers to facilitate peaceful demonstrations, reduce tensions, and ensure effective communication between the public and the police. People have the lawful right to gather peacefully and express themselves. And of course, while doing so, everyone must respect the law. Like I said, we will have an increased police presence, and we encourage all participants to be respectful of each other. Toronto Police attend these gatherings to maintain public order, facilitate effective crowd management, and above all, to ensure the safety of everyone, regardless of what their views are. We will continue to balance the right to protest with the need to maintain public order and public safety, as well as the safety of our members. It's important to recognize that interfering with our ability to maintain order and provide public safety will indeed have potential consequences. Engaging in confrontations with law enforcement, obstructing police, or resorting to violence is not acceptable, and we will not hesitate to enforce the law. We appeal to everyone heading downtown this weekend to stay peaceful and respectful.
Good morning. On top of what my colleague just said, we also recognize that in the context of tensions being exacerbated by geopolitical events, the Al-Quds event is raising concerns in our communities. In particular, some have expressed concern about the potential for hate speech, as well as the potential for confrontation between Al-Quds participants and those who oppose this event. Hate has no place in our city. This weekend, Toronto Police will be highly visible. Our members will be present throughout the demonstrations, proactively identifying, when needed, instances of hate. I want to remind everyone that every reported instance of hate, including in demonstrations, will be investigated. This includes hate crimes, hate speech, hate signage, and flags of terrorist organizations designated by Public Safety Canada. And let me be very clear, charges can be laid at any time, whether it's hours, days, or weeks after the incident. For example, earlier this week, after a lengthy investigation, we announced that very serious charge was being laid against an individual, including advocating for genocide and willful promotion of hatred. We will not hesitate to arrest and charge anyone who engages in criminal activity. Toronto is one of the most diverse cities in the world, and we all share the responsibility to keep it safe. Thank you. Questions?
You mentioned that you've talked to organizers. What have those conversations been like so far?
We are constantly in communication and making outreach to event organizers, some of whom cooperate with us, some of whom have adopted an adversarial stance and will not cooperate in any way with us. Our job is to facilitate a peaceful protest. Our police liaison teams are constantly reaching out to event organizers to understand what their intentions are and how we can facilitate the safe protest. So it's an ongoing process, but I will highlight and emphasize the important role that our police liaison teams play in this particular role.
You mentioned hate speech and being on the lookout for that. There are a lot of things that have happened in the last 18 months where certain people think that certain things are hate speech and they're not defined as hate speech, and they want to kind of blur or gray the lines. I just want to know how do you know what is defined as hate speech and what you're looking for?
So thank you, very great question, and we're doing our best to educate the communities and also additional education to our officers, as this is an incredibly complex piece of law. I think the most important piece to understand around hate speech is that is not in the hands of the officers of the police. We put forward an investigation. We gather evidence of what we believe may be considered hate speech. It's a package that it goes forward to the Ministry of Attorney General and the Hate Crime Working Group. There's obviously an expertise that lies there as well. And then it's in the hands of the Attorney General after that. We require consent to lay those charges.
The definition comes from the province or the federal government?
So the definition within the criminal code, hate is under section 318, 319 of the criminal code. They're hate propaganda charges. There's 4 of them. That's advocating for genocide, willful promotion of hatred, willful promotion of anti-Semitism, and the public incitement of hatred. And one of those charges we can lay without Attorney General consent, and that's the public incitement of hatred. We have used that charge in the context of demonstrations, and then again, coming this Sunday for Al-Quds Day. Again, if we hear what we believe to be hate speech, we will gather evidence. We will use the expertise of our federal partners and our hate crime working group.
A good portion of people who will be out there this weekend could be either Arab or Muslim descent. What's the rules on, because I know you said there's kind of different things. What about Islamophobia? Where does that kind of fall under? If there's anti-Arab or anti-Islam sentiment, where does that fall under the hate speech kind of banner?
Well, we'll be gathering evidence of any hate, whether it be anti-Semitism or anti-Muslim, anti-Arab. I think the important part is the evidence collection. We will not tolerate hate in any case at these demonstrations.
Any other questions?
I know you said there's going to be a stepped-up police presence. Can you just talk about what that's going to, I know you don't want to give away anything a lot, but what does that look like? Will that include officer on horseback, plain clothes, people stationed all over the place? What's that going to look like?
Yeah, thank you for that. Yes, we will have a very significant presence. I'm not going to get into numbers for operational security reasons, but we will have a very significant uniform and non-uniform presence. You will see police horses out there as well as other police resources, but we will be staffing this for an appropriate and proportionate response to whatever we may encounter.
Are there numbers you anticipate here in terms of crowd size?
I don't have an estimate right now, but given the events that are happening overseas right now and the tensions that are the way they're running right now, I would expect a very significant attendance. Several thousand, I would anticipate at a minimum.
How do you balance something with an event like this versus people who will be out there doing the march protesting and potential of counter-protest? That's always something you guys are kind of watching out for and trying to keep things as separated as possible.
Right. There's always a potential for, given the tensions, the way they're manifesting themselves in the city right now, and it's understandable, but we will be keeping the groups separated under our common law authorities that the police enjoy in this country. There is an interest, there is a need to keep the groups separated based on our experiences with counter-protests that we've witnessed over the past year and a half. But so we will be keeping the groups separated, but also respecting their charter rights and their rights to peaceful assembly and expression.
That was going to be my follow-up there, because I know you mentioned in your remarks there is a certain amount of people who would not want this event to go forward at all. But maybe you could just talk a bit about how the right is there to assemble peacefully.
Right, and you used the term yourself, balance. I mean, and we have been striking a balance since this whole campaign began, and it is a very delicate balance between people's charter rights and the law. And we will facilitate peaceful protests and freedom of expression, but if it crosses into lawlessness or violence or hate, we will act decisively and effectively and apprehend any offenders that present themselves. But I mean, I would like to use the word balance and facilitate peaceful protest. That is what our intention is. But if it does come to criminality or violence or public safety concerns, we will act decisively.